Carlo Maderno also constructed the facade in 1612, and it was also criticized for being too high and too wide, obviously. So if it was a Greek cross, this would have been pushed way back, and we would have been able to see the dome from anywhere. There. It glorifies the Pope as opposed to the Apostle. See, it's named after St. Peter, but his name is off to the side and abbreviated in honor of Principus Apost. It's kind of cut off. And the Pope in charge, hi, welcome. Just come in, you can hear me. He's there with Jesus in the middle, being the largest, and John the Baptist to his right. At the end here, we have, instead of Judas, St. Matthias holding the axe. Can anyone tell me who's missing?
Is it Judas?
Well, he's replaced by
Okay, so he's
Matthias, but there is someone missing. Right. Peter is there, 18 feet tall, holding keys, a set of keys. Hi. And I'll tell you why inside. Directly opposite St. Peter is St. Paul, and he's holding a sword, and this is the weapon with which he was killed. He was killed because he was a Christian, but instead of being crucified, he was given the honor of being beheaded because he was Roman. So we are in St. Arms of the church, if you can picture the arms welcoming all the people. On the top of the colonnade, there are 140 statues, saints and martyrs, that represent the saints and martyrs that look down from heaven and protect all the people.
Are there women? Saint Dragon, and do you know?
Sure.
No. Okay. But are there any women?
Discovered that it had two types of marble.
Oh, I see.
Recently, see the two different
When they
colors?
cleaned it, you mean? The
When
pink
they cleaned it,
marble and
yeah, they didn't know until
Is
they
there more that
restored
they
it.
need to clean, or that's the only part that is red?
So far, yeah, this part here, they're restoring the other side.
So this Vatican thing closed for 3 days. Is that why there's so many people?
Yes, Saturday was a holiday.
Chairs are always out.
Massive.
So the next week, 2025. And they were made when Gregory the 13th was Pope, and they're some of actually the recent Pope to include them is obviously the one we have now, John Paul II. So his name is up there. They are opened on Christmas Eve of the Holy Year and remain open all year until the following Christmas. And they are closed. And apparently, pilgrims who come to Rome that year and go through the doors are supposed to have their sins absolved.
Resolved.
Resolved. So you guys are coming back in
25.
2025. So one you can't tell exactly how big because it's all built in proportion. For example, you see the statue above is 12, and the statue above that is 14. Wow. It's all in proportion. And those blue letters on the gold are
兄弟，拍专业点啊！
blue letters. Under the base of Michelangelo's dome are almost twice the size.
Okay, Ma.
of these blue ones. Did you see someone standing? Was there someone standing beside the
Yeah,
angels that
yeah, and you could tell.
you could
They were
tell.
smaller than
Yeah.
the angels. Yeah.
Now, if we could just finally, we have some space. Just follow me. There are markers in the pavement to prove this is the longest, the biggest church in the world.
Many basilicas.
Going down the wrong wrong side. On the floor there. Oh. Sorry guys, sorry. Our marker's in the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
There is a marker up there showing the second largest church, which is St. Paul's in London. St. Paul's Cathedral.
While you were sleeping, huh?
Yeah, Leslie was here.
This is where the large, so this is where St. Paul the second large. This is one. You made it this Stefano, vieni! Yours, not only to the Virgin
Monument that is left in the old basilica. From the first basilica, this is the only thing. So it's the oldest. From 1492. Does anyone know? Does that date ring a bell? What happened in 1492? Veil of the ocean. This pope, he claims to have been the founder of the New World. But he died 8 days before Columbus sailed. So technically, he was responsible for convincing Ferdinand. Work, the Transfiguration of Christ, and all the figures in the painting are pointing towards two focal points. Jesus at the top there, and the possessed boy, the boy who is pale, white eyes, is possessed by the devil. And this, Raphael used the chiaroscuro technique, which is strategically placed use of light and color to bring the characters out, almost like a 3D. They're not flat. If you notice, they look, they have volume and depth. Chiaroscuro. The lady who painted this, the model on Raphael. Raphael things along to nothing in here is a painting.
It's a mosaic. Raphael's,
It's a
it's
flash,
a mosaic.
as opposed to like in Florence where they tell you no flash, no flash. And they actually found painters that could reproduce the same.
Small pieces.
Yeah, for the skin, unbelievable.
Okay, so this is a monument to Alexander VII made by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. You guys get used to that name because you're going to hear a lot. Bernini is responsible for doing a lot. Also Piazza Navona, I don't know if you've been there. So this Pope wanted the monument made by Bernini, so he asked him to do it for him. Notice the skeleton. The skeleton, the wings. Death, right? Time running out for all of us. Why is Death's face hidden, do you think? Why is Death's face, the skeleton's face?
You never know when it's going to happen.
Right, because you don't know. We don't know when. We don't know when. And you notice the four virtues surrounding the Pope. Charity, holding the baby. Prudence, behind. I don't know if you can see. It's behind. Justice is in the back.
Do you see truth? That's her left foot, left hand on the globe. Notice the map of Italy on there?
Because anybody know why? So this is his response, political statement. Even though 150 years have passed by have gone by since then, it's never too late to. Yeah. Wait.
Where England is where the big toe is, since England broke away from the Church of the Catholic Church.
This is the baldacchino, or the high altar, or canopy, as they call it. And it is made of solid bronze, 130 tons, 29 meters tall. Was Urban VIII, and he asked Bernini to make it for him. However, Bernini ran out of bronze. So he goes to the Pope and says, look, I ran out of bronze, I can't finish your baldacchino. So Urban VIII says, no problem, just go down to the Pantheon and get it from there. So a lot of the bronze is from the Pantheon. And that's where the saying, quote, no fecimus barbari, fecimus barbarini. What the barbarians didn't, the Barberini did. Which is to steal the bronze from the Pantheon with the Pope's permission. Now, Pope Urban VIII was a member of the wealthy Barberini family, and he left his family emblem, the bee, buzzing all over. But the bees, so wherever you see bees, even on other buildings and statues in Rome, that's what you know pertains to the Barberini family. This, only the Pope can say Mass from this altar, usually twice a year at Christmas and Easter. And underneath is where Peter is used to. And these buckles are always in.
How far down? It's not right there, it's way down.
Just down the stairs, but it's
Just down the
closed.
stairs.
So if you look way up, looks way up. If you look way up. So that's Michelangelo's dome. And he gave St. Peter's the highest dome, but not the widest diameter. He kept it 1.5 meters smaller than the Pantheon. So you could picture the Pantheon sitting on top.
We did that on
The
purpose?
tallest. Or he just, we're not sure. I'm not going to speculate whether it was with respect to his predecessor before him. Out of respect. But it's the tallest, but not the widest. The Pantheon is wider. I don't know if you can see how big people walking along the inside. To go to the top. How many steps is it? 900. Twice as much as the elevator will take you this way.
I think it's at 300.
The dome, it says, you are Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, and I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. So that's why St. Peter is holding a set of keys. And this is why, right beneath you, he also, and Jesus saying this, gave the Vatican its logo. This is why you see keys and the papal crown. So wherever you see keys in Rome or in Italy, you know that there's a pope has been there.
Now, is that Peter in the center of the dome?
Where?
The burial tomb of Peter.
23 when he made it. Out of it took 1 year and out of a single block of marble. And it's the only thing that he signed. Actually, his name appears on Mary's sash. She is the focus, and she looks like she's reflecting on his death, not lamenting. Like she's not crying or wailing like other Marys that we've seen. And this was a criticism, actually. He was criticized for this. Her face looks really young, and this could be because they think that this could be Michelangelo's mother, who died when he was only 5. So it could be maybe that her face is pretty young. But she's not overly sad and wailing and crying.
Is everyone here? Now, if you can't hear me, please raise your hand, okay? Keep in mind that Michelangelo started sculpting in marble when he was 13 years old. He did this piece when he was 23. took him 20. It took him. He's 23 years old. It took him 2 years to complete. It's in 1498. Now, as you look at Mary with Christ on her lap, you might have noticed that she's technically not touching Christ's body. Her left hand on your right is reaching outwards, and between her right hand and Christ's torso, there's a blanket. Well, scholars have said that at that point, even Mary had accepted with mournful resignation that she was only Christ's earthly mother, that she could no longer touch his body.
In 3 years, whereas this took him a year. That's incredible. David is huge. Well, in the 15th I know she's leaving, but I don't want to leave. Come back in? Come back in?
No.
No.
Had no foot bones either. Now, if you guys remember back to when St. Peter was crucified, and the easiest way for the Christians to get St. Peter's bones off the cross is chop off the feet. Now, I know it's a little gruesome, but it's probably what happened. So this skeleton had no foot bones. And not about 1900 years after the St. Peter was supposedly been crucified. Now, there's obviously some
Screen is useful.
Now, bringing in the skeleton is, he was running out of bronze, and Louis VIII was the one who sculpted the tortoise.
long white beard.
Yeah.
What's the story that she said? Who was the guy on the? Who was the person in the statue?
The guy on the top was the Pope, whatever Pope it was that did it. And it was just because every Pope in here has some kind of memorial to him. And that was the memorial that he had the meaning to him.
This is the statue of the woman who wiped the face of Christ.
Yeah, that's the one that was behind the glass.
Oh, that's the one behind the glass?
That's the one.
It's too far away.
Well, you could have gone near it. But that's why there were so many people in front of it. But that's the famous bit.
Io sono la via, la verità e la vita, licenziato.
Okay. Right now we're in the courtyard prior to going into the Sistine Chapel.
And then Raphael.
Oh, there's that big lady's head right there. It was like.
So big.
Could be, couldn't.
The Medici family, the Pope was fighting a lot during that time. And also, Muhammad II of Turkey was threatening the western coast of Italy. So Sistine Chapel called in two Florentine architects, Faisoli and Bontelli, to work on the structure. They covered up two windows that were in the altar wall, plastered them over, had it all painted blue with yellow stars to match the fresco ceiling done by Pier Matteo da Medici. Now, when the fighting had ceased, 1480, in different scenes in Moses' life. Moses is here helping the maidens at the well, the herd. Here he's slain an Egyptian, killed a Jew, he's fleeing the Midian here. Here he's taking off his shoes, notice the oak trees, going to the bush to speak with God.
This is the octagon court on the way to the Sistine Chapel.
or they scoot up to get a better look. Now, 3,000 years ago, you see a little bit of the land curve here?
This is a private zone, isn't it?
Oh, excuse me, you can go ahead and scoot up so the hands are close. 3,000 years ago, in what is now known as Turkey, was the Trojan War. And a loud crooning priest warned everyone.
Must be a
Here we have this called the Gallery of Maps.
This is the Room of the Immaculate Conception.
that's the name of the wall.
This is this is not it. This is the Hall of Constantine.
The infamous gift shop. Well, the people picking flashes, everything here.
My tour comes here. All right. You want to know about the ceiling first? Or about the...
No, go ahead.
The side pictures were done by...
Ceiling.
You want to know about the ceiling?
De arriba para abajo.
Okay. First painting, the Sistine Chapel. Okay. All right. The frescoes of the ceiling vault were commissioned by Pope Julius II from Michelangelo, who completed the work in a space of 3 years. This work of incomparable grandeur consists of various scenes. It is credibly unified and homogeneous in effect. All around the lower part of the ceiling, the master depicted 12 huge and majestic figures of prophets and sibyls. So these things in the triangles are mostly prophets of different types. Oh, no, the standing things, the bottom ones, are prophets and symbols. The ones standing in those archways are prophets, all right? Seated on marble thrones, the sibyls are alternated with the figures of prophets, since they too had, in the pagan world, to the coming of a different era characterized by another way of understanding man and life proper to Christianity. Oh, that's interesting. The central part of the ceiling is divided into panels by architects.
Done? Well, use them until mine goes out. Take the pictures. Put them in.
You need to take your parents. I know all.
You don't know what the committee scenes are. You told me you don't know what they are. Where's the altar? Oh, that's the altar. Okay. Starting from the giant figure of the prophet Jonah above the altar, and that's Jonah. That's the one that I told you is going backwards. That according to that art, that professor that we saw on the
Yeah,
screen,
right. It's the hardest
my
one.
dad, is the way he's positioned. It was like it made people realize Michelangelo was a real good painter, because it's very hard to position a person in that way and make it look like. Okay. So the first box up there is the creation of light. You see the light on the bottom and the dark on the top. That's the creation of light. The second one was the creation of the stars and the planets. That's the one right there with that yellow thing in the middle. That's God creating the stars and the planets. The third one is God the Father circling in the infinite, separating the land from the water. So there he's separating land and water.
And the one with the next to the sun, there's a woman, there's a person that was behind. What was it?
Los niveles.
Everybody else on this kids here. You know, the Trump floor he did with these fake arches, with the triangles, you wouldn't believe it wasn't real, right?
That's it.
That's it. Say goodbye.